Okay, well, that this ain't gonna end the way everybody thought it would. So y'all remember when Dorit's house got robbed, right? And how terrified she was, even though the robbers who robbed her house let her keep her cell phone so she could call the police. Okay, and y'all remember when Garcelle said it don't make sense, the math ain't mathing, the boat is sinking. And then how offended some people were and turned against Garcelle and was like, how dare she accuse Dorit of lying? Why would Dorit terrorize her children? Shame on you, Garcelle. Y'all remember that? Okay. Well, word on the street is that the group of people who did the robbery allegedly are now willing to sit down and talk to the police because, in fact, the robbery was a setup. It was a fake. It was a bamboozle. It was a led astray. It was a hoodwink. Plymouth Rock. Oh, y'all get it. Yeah. Allegedly, they are willing to come forth and tell how and what took place. Well, that ain't gonna go the way everybody thought it was. One day y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn to listen. Y'all go just because someone doesn't agree with a situation don't mean they hating on you. Don't mean they jealous of you. It just means sometimes they can see past your bullshit. Clock it. Catch it. Oh, poor Dorit. Okay. Okay. So Kobe created a 70s sitcom list, a list of shows from the 70s that he wants to watch from the beginning to the end. He started with All in the Family. When I tell you this little boy was shocked to see that Chief Gillespie is also Archie Bunker. That was the first shock. The second shock is that he was unaware that the same George Jefferson from the Jeffersons started on All in the Family, which I had to explain to him what a spinoff was. Last night I got a call from Kobe where I had to talk him off the ledge after he saw the episode where his beloved Edith died. He was so distraught because he said they could have took anybody. Why did they have to take his girl? He don't know why they didn't take Gloria. He said, what was her purpose? Okay. So once I talked him off the ledge and got him calmed down, I said, are you going to watch the spinoff of All in the Family and watch Archie's Place? He said, I don't care nothing about Archie's Place. He said, because Archie ain't nothing without Edith. I'm going to move on to the next show on the list. The next show on the list was The Brady Bunch. After he watched the very first episode, he called me back. He said, Aunt Cookie, I have a question. Okay. It's a little late, but okay. I said, what's your question, bud? He said, where them kids mama at? I said, what kids? He said, them 3 boys. Where their mama at? I said, their mama is Carol. He said, no. No, she not their mama. She their stepmama. He said, Mike had 3 boys with somebody else. Where's she at? What? I said, Bud, what you mean? He said, when Carol met Mike, Carol had 3 daughters. When Mike met Carol, he had 3 sons. Where are the other parents of these children? Wait, what? I said, but I don't know. He said, you never watched this show? I said, yeah, I watched it. He said, well, where their parents at? I said, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they ever talk about that. He said, wow, that's a lot to unpack. He said, all right, I'll call you tomorrow. Oh, okay. Stay tuned. while we find out where Carol's baby daddy is and Mike's baby mama is. Okay, bye. Okay, good morning. Let me say this. It is apparent to me after our potluck at my job that I will never beat the allegations of being the sourpuss lady that can't stand a company potluck. Now, one thing about me, I don't like a potluck. I won't participate, but I will donate to it. So when my manager said I want everybody to participate in the potluck, in my mind I said, well, I'm not going to eat the food, but I will bring some. So I called Miss Clemmy. I said, what you want to make for the potluck? She said, I'll make my Southern Comfort sweet potato pie. I said, well, it can't be Southern Comfort. Just make a sweet potato pie. When you know, you know. She said, okay. My manager came back and said, Samantha, we got too many desserts. Pick something else. I called Miss Clemmy. I said, pick something else. She said, I'll do my deviled eggs. Okay, cool. That morning of the potluck, I bring the deviled eggs in. I put them in the refrigerator because it's eggs and mayonnaise. Okay. So now as I'm piddling through the break room, I see my manager and a couple other people setting the break room up for the crock pots and stuff. A young lady brings in a Caesar salad already mixed up. She asked my manager, do you want to put this in the refrigerator? My manager said, no, just sit it on the table. Now in my mind, I'm confused. I was like, that's a Caesar salad with the dressing already. Okay. My deviled eggs in the refrigerator. So as I'm piddling around trying to toast my English muffin for my breakfast, I see a lady talking about how she just bought this ham from Wegmans. She cuts the full pack out, takes the ham out. She takes a knife and she's cutting the slices of cutting the ham off the spiral bone. Now in my mind, I'm saying I didn't hit the fucking jackpot because they got a kitchen with an oven and a stove. Where is that at? But then I said, let me get to my desk and eat my English muffin. But I come back into the break room a little bit later and I see this lady then took all the ham off the bone and put it on a platter. And in my mind, I'm saying, now how's she going to get that platter in the oven? Because my mom refuses to let me go there at my new job. So then I see her take the ham bone and put it back in the foil. I said, I know she ain't going to throw that bone away because you can make you a good pot of beans, girl. But let me mind my business. So she throws the bone away and then she has this little gray plastic pouch in her hand and she's flipping it all around. And by this time, she's watching me watch her. So she says to me, she said, do you know what this is for? So I walk over there. And I said, this is the glaze for the ham. She said, do I just pour it on there, drizzle it on there? I said, well, no, this is the glaze that you put on the ham before you cook it. This lady looked at me with so much disgust and said, cook it. It already says cook